boss man is just a bobblehead doll. Holler them all. Strutting like Pac out the court. Hop out the Porsche. Shake that, got that on menus, the a la carte. Boy, I had to make my point about this wave. Watch for the sharks bounce. Sharks bounce. I gave it up and talking Cuban links. Tell her ain't no weak link in my Cuban link. Only like my age. We was gangin' since the platinum FUBU days. I got dreams of being Hova out your movie, yay. Listen, babe, so good you'll think I'm cool with yay. Okay, my diamonds dancing, I could Lisa Ray. Life is hard, but it's easy being truthful, baby. Baby, for real. Overload.
The oldest rivalry in the NFL on the first Sunday night of the year. It's the Coats. This is week 1 of the NFL on EA Sports. It started in 1921, and now, 97 years later, it's edition number 197 of the Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers. I'll see you at halftime with a look back at some games from earlier today. But now we head to Lambeau. Standing by, Brandon Gott and Charles Davis.
We're at the oldest continually operating stadium in the NFL as you get a look inside Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. No team means more to a city than the Packers to Green Bay, and this was the scene a few moments ago as the green and gold made their way out of the historic tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Chicago Bears. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Packer team as we enter play here. And I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They passed the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a real good start to get things going.
It's the marquee game of opening weekend, and off we go on a Sunday night on EA Sports. Trevor Davis now to return. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. It'll be Aaron Rodgers under center, who was drafted by the Packers back in 2005 in the first round, now in his 14th year with Green Bay.
And a case can be made that Aaron Rodgers is changing the way you play quarterback in the NFL. Instead of just precision and timing, he's able to take a play and extend it even when it doesn't need to be and go for the bigger play downfield rather than short, easy, effective throw.
And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, so it was looking good, but nothing there, and now it's 3rd down and inches.
That was an example of excellent defense there. They stuffed him. So now he brings up a 3rd down situation. If I'm calling plays here, I make sure I put in the hands of my quarterback and get it to a receiver real fast.
Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack.
Probably a little bit of a surprise call there on 3rd and inches that they decided to throw the football. And how difficult is that for an offensive line when they look up and see all those extra bodies coming at them?
Tons of bodies coming in. They get a huge sack there. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. This will be fielded at the 17. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Bears take over. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback who grew up just outside of Cleveland on Lake Erie, Mitchell Trubisky.
I'm excited about seeing his progress because in his rookie year, he started somewhere around mid-season and carried it the rest of the way. And you saw improvement week after week as they keep adding people around him. And when he plays on a team that has those weapons that you're looking for, those key guys, it'd be fun to see him run an offense as well as skillfully use his legs in order to gain some extra yardage too.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line.
Doesn't matter who you're rooting for in this game, the effort of the man with the football, getting away from one and trying to turn forward and get some yardage, I really liked what he did there.
On 2nd down, here's Trubisky. Throw left side, complete. That's Burton. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
They'll try to run for it with Howard. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
I haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the 1st down sticks are, and get there.
Strong run, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Trubisky. And that is incomplete. Tremont Williams there to break that one up.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on 3rd down to bring up 4th. O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of 1st downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 1st downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and he just got a nice 1st down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on 1st down. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. On 1st down, Rodgers. The left side throw complete to Adams. And they can't bring him down. A big play there. Rodgers to Adams. 44 yards.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody that has that ability, they want them on their team.
And again, the footwork. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. And that's his longest run of the first quarter. And, Charles, we talked before the game about them needing to establish the run game. They'll be looking for more of that.
And they got to the perimeter. So that tells me that that's part of the game plan of what they want to get done today. So they'll have some complimentary runs where he'll run it to the inside. But it appears that when they want the big...
And a second effort gets him in. Touchdown, Packers. A great play there. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Packers have taken the early lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Crosby connects on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. On the return, it's Tariq Cohen. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. For the Bears last season, Charles, as they come out here, a 2-game improvement, but when you go from 3-13 to 5-11, not enough to save their coaching staff. So in comes 40-year-old Matt Nagy. He's the new head coach and seems to be bringing a new optimism with him.
Yeah, and you hate to put too much on the shoulders of not just a new head coach, but a second-year quarterback in Mitchell Trubisky. But this is the city of broad shoulders, and I think that he has them, and he's looking forward to working with this new crew. And similar to teams that really elevated with coaching changes, the Eagles, the defending Super Bowl champions, the Los Angeles Rams last year, I think that can happen here in Chicago as well because of the structure they'll put in place for this quarterback. Head coach who knows quarterbacks, offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach, they will really work with this guy, and I think that this team has a chance to roll.
Come on, gotta go.
Now Trubisky to throw on second, and this one's incomplete. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time, and it's third down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. On third down, Trubisky got his man complete over the middle. That's Burton. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Fourth down. Here's Trubisky. And this is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And this defense will take over right at midfield. Well, you feel the excitement build on those 4th down plays. Defense has to stay out there, but for the offense, when that thing doesn't work out, such disappointment.
It can absolutely be a deflator, but how about the defensive guys? If they stop you on 4th down, they are absolutely elevated going to their bench.
They're elevated now. Big stop on 4th down. And he's brought down. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Now, that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Montgomery, a first down and then some. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
That was a really nice play to be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. That's complete right around the 8. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try to cover them.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Nick Kwiatkowski coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
When you're this close to the goal line, you've got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right, that pass will go from incomplete to complete.
So on now for the Packers is their all-time leading scorer, Mason Crosby. And Crosby puts it through, and the lead moves to 10-zip. They had it 1st and goal, 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, it's just not as much space. They end up having to take 3 there.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. This offense trots back out there now, and as they do, Charles, one thing to point out that we saw a second ago are some of the new rules in the NFL this year regarding kickoffs.
Yeah, nowadays, the kickoff team, no more running starts. Remember that when you got to circle a guy around, and here he goes? No more. You have to start, close to the ball. And when it's kicked, then you get to take off and go, so you can't build up your speed that way. Also, when you're returning it, remember those wedges that we used to say where guys would form together, 2 or 3 guys? No more of those. So it'd be a lot more man-on-man, one-on-one blocking. And also they have rules about where people have to be when the ball's kicked, where they have to be when the ball's caught. So to me, it's much more like a punt return than it is an actual kickoff return. So I'm eager to see if teams now take their punt returners, those nifty guys who make people miss in the open field, and make them the kickoff returners as well, because I think you can still get big plays in this area if you have the right people back there.
Throwing here, Trubisky. He's going to air one out. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. Ty Montgomery in the offense getting set for their next drive. He's been effective so far, over the 40-yard mark here in the 2nd quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. The Packers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And able to find Graham, complete. And now running right through it. And he's going to be out of bounds down near the 35-yard line. And that one results in 35 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Following the penalty, Montgomery. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. On 3rd down, Rodgers. And he finds Jimmy Graham. And he carries this one all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
They'll run with Montgomery. And he's able to find some room as they get him down after a good run. A good red zone run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Some good, strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Jimmy Graham, his first touchdown in green and gold. And the Packers add on to their lead.
Aaron Rodgers no longer has a safety blanket named Jordy Nelson to utilize in the red zone anymore. But picking up Jimmy Graham, that's a heck of a consolation prize. Remember, Jimmy Graham has had 4 seasons of 10 touchdowns or more, including 10 with the Seahawks in 2017.
Crosby with the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. So that drive goes 8 plays, and the result, a Green Bay score. Crosby on now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Looking to throw, Trubisky on 1st down. That's complete to the Memphis man, Anthony Miller. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
It felt like Mitchell Trubisky, the quarterback for the Bears, was in the draft room with his general manager because picking up this pass catcher from Memphis, Anthony Miller, made to order for a young quarterback. A nice slot who can make plays like we just saw.
He is fun to watch. Went from being a walk-on at Memphis to completely rewriting the record books out wide. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
We remind you that coming up at the half, we'll hand things off to Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have scores from earlier today, plus a look ahead as well, so you won't want to miss that. A lot going on here in Week 1. And some room to work. And he'll be brought down at the 48. Yard line.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Come on, gotta go.
On 2nd down, Trubisky over the middle, complete. It's Burton. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Trubisky fighting the former Eagle Burton for the Chicago first.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Now a play fake here on first down. That escapes the sack. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Now Trubisky on first down. Miller on the catch over the middle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 11 more on that one and another first down. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Come on, gotta go.
They run play action for Howard. Now Trubisky. And this one is incomplete. Adam Shaheen was the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Now Trubisky to throw. A heavy rush, and down he goes. Now on 4th down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. Now Cody Parkey out to try the field goal. And this one, a 41-yard attempt. And Parkey's kick is good. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
Boy, still a half-plus to play, but it is a 2-score game. They're going to go onside kick early. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Parkey now following the made field goal to kick this one off. Returnable here for Davis. Oh, and now he bowls him over. They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. And he will perhaps get back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. And time has run out on this first half. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. This fielded at the 2. And Hill running right through it. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something.
And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Kenny Clark getting in there from his defensive tackle spot to snow him under for a loss of 4. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
It seemed like the situation was 2nd and a mile to go for a first down, which screams what? Throw the football. You got to pass in order to try and pick up that kind of yardage. But in this case, they ran a tendency breaker because the tendency is for defenses to be out there and be set up for a pass. So you break tendency and actually run the football. That changes everything because if you're able to find a crease, you often have bigger guys working against smaller guys downfield. They picked up excellent yardage there to bring up a third down.
On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. It's his target. It's Taylor Gabriel. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
They run to Howard, and he'll take this one down to about the 40. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Hurry!
Trubisky will throw. Wide open receiver complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10 to the 7. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Calling a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tramon Williams. He's at the 50, the 30, 20. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So they will tread backward on the holding penalty.
And I know that they're going to get coached up and they'll get yelled at a little bit, but let's face it, it is hard not to do at the speed and pace that they play.
Rodgers hands to Montgomery, and he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith. On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Cobb. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. run. And he is out of bounds, getting it just shy of the 35. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. And Davis with it left side. A very solid gain of 27. Somebody missed an assignment. He was waving his arms saying, hey, I'm wide open. They found him.
You think? You think? I mean, he was so wide open. Did you see he was just windmilling like he was Don Quixote or somebody out there? And then they found him for a really nice game.
And Graham's got it over the middle. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
319!
Now Rodgers throwing on second down. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Rodgers to Cobb, good for a Green Bay first.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
He'll get it up the middle. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
319! 258! 319 on him!
Rodgers now on third and goal. Got a man open. It's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. And the lead will grow by 1 more. Crosby on now to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And a nice carry there of 15 yards. Back now at Lambeau. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
Gotta go.
On first down, Trubisky. And he completes it to Cohen. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll bring up a second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
They'll throw on first down with Trubisky. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Cohen. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 7 yards on the play, and it'll be second down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
That's to his running back, complete. He'll wind up being stopped for no gain, and it'll lead to a 4th down.
Usually the offense has an answer to anything a defense throws at them, including a safety valve. And that's what they did on that play. They went there, but the defense still made an excellent play and held them to no gain.
Finding Gabriel, complete. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Middle of the field, it's Robinson. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
This is Howard on second down. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Here's Trubisky. Pressure up the middle, and down he goes. Mike Daniels in there to get him for a loss of 5.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
You're right, they have had no room to breathe. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. And they pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Here we go. It's Trubisky on 4th down. Mitchell Trubisky's first touchdown pass of his sophomore campaign. So we just witnessed touchdown number 1 for the Rook, and certainly that's a football he's going to want for the trophy case.
Yeah, this is one that you don't spike, right? This is one you don't throw to your teammate and let them celebrate. This is one you keep for yourself, take it over to the equipment staff and have them mark it up, put it away, and then you get it later on. And as you said, mount it in your trophy case. Fantastic. Hopefully the first of many.
Cody Parkey is on now for the point after. Parkey adds the extra point. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. Returnable here for Davis. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Packers offense now. They get ready to head back onto the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
Sometime in this fourth quarter, someone on defense is going to have to step up and force a turnover.
Rodgers now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They go play action here on first down. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Well, there you go. You said someone was going to have to step up, force a turnover. That's exactly what they needed.
And now they need to capitalize, get this back to a one-score game. From there, anything can happen.
So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Trubisky. And pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess.
Come on, gotta go, gotta go.
2nd and 10 now. It's Trubisky. He's going to air one out. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
The Bears on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Trubisky. And Miller with it over the middle. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. He had their lone TD earlier. Now he's got a first down. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Being chased out left. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Here's Trubisky to throw. Looking for White on the deep ball. This is caught inside the 15. He got 29 yards that time. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Come on, come on.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. It's Nick Perry with a pick. And a great return as he takes us up just shy of the 45.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
They begin the drive with Williams, and he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter.
Let's go, hey, let's go, come on. Right.
Back to the ground, this time Montgomery. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 3 yards on the pickup there, but they've only got it back to 3rd and 10.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here.
319!
On 3rd down, they go Montgomery. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Here's J.K. Scott now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done. This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield.
Come on, gotta go.
They pitch out to Howard. And he'll take this up to about the 7 or 8 yard line. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave them with a third down and 6 to go. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. Play action. Now Trubisky. Able to find Shaheen, the tight end. And all the way down to the 40-yard line. A huge play there for Chicago. 51 yards. Charles, you are the master of abstract facts. So who would you say is the best player ever drafted from Ashland University in Ohio?
How about the only one ever drafted from there? Adam Shaheen, the tight end.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. And before the second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle.
Come on, gotta go.
On second down, Trubisky. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by the Michigan man, Jake Ryan. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. This spot in the fourth quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
They go down to a knee, and the new campaign off to a good start. It's a win here in Week 1. And partner, this first